Well, good morning. I'm Nagendra Rana. Topic we are discussing today is wedding insurance in India. Wedding insurance in India. The marriage is a very important moment in couple's life where they spend a fortune and plan things meticulously for their big day. But despite the massive amounts involved, many families hesitate to secure these extravaganzas financially against cancellations and other losses. This reluctance persists at a mammoth scale as India is likely to see over 48 lakh weddings by the end of the calendar year. These events and associated ceremonies are expected to generate business worth rupees 6 lakh crore as per the Confederation of All India Traders. So the average budgets have gone up with an increasing number of Indians willing to sculpture on the all important big day of their lives. Companies such as Public Sector General Insurance, ICICI Lombard, Bajaj Allianz, and Future generally offer wedding insurance covers to make good losses arising from wedding cancellations, but the awareness and uptake continue to be low. So one key reason is that families and couples do not want to give thought to the possibility of the wedding being cancelled. Despite huge amounts being spent during wedding, the awareness level continues to be low. The other reason for slower pickup could be that the parties involved do not want to believe that there will be contingencies that could lead to cancellations. There is an increase in proposals, but the overall size of the wedding insurance business continues to be small. Typically, it is the professional wedding planners who impress upon the families the importance of having such covers in place. Insurance industry insiders say that families consider wedding insurance covers only when the budget is over rupees 50 lakh. Coverage against the cancellation of first fire damage is there. Essentially, these are event insurance policies packaged as wedding covers, not easily available off the shelf. You, your wedding planner, or your broker will have to approach the insurance company for the coverage, which will then be customized for your requirements. Though some companies do offer standards basic plan too. The premiums vary widely depending on the insurance companies and the losses you want to cover under plan. The premium is linked to the cover sort. It could be cancellation of the wedding ceremony, damage to property, burglary and public liability, and so on. So the coverage terms are also linked to the location and venues. The overall budget, the period of celebration, and cost of valuables are some of the parameters that influences wedding insurance premiums. For example, if customers buy a cover only for event cancellation, so due to fire, declaration of state, mourning, etc., then our minimum premium may be rupees 2,500 plus GST for a cover of rupees 20 lakh. So destination wedding, even the ones taking place at international locations, are covered under wedding insurance. It can cover travel costs, hotel stay, jewelry that you might be carrying, and also guest liability. So depending on your requirement and upon payment of an additional premium, you can also obtain coverage against terrorism. No show of artists due to accidents, damage to the venue, and props and other equipment due to fire, burglary, etc. So cancellation due to accidents caused to the bride or the groom would also be covered. You can also choose to cover any expenses arising out of damage to third parties, guests, or their assets. So before zeroing in on a policy, ensure that you inquire with multiple insurers to understand the terms of coverage and costs, as lack of standardization and focus on customization necessitates thorough homework. So evaluate premiums on the basis of coverage that you need and what the insurance company can offer. So premiums for rupees 5 lakh cover could start at around rupees 1,500. However, this will vary as per the number of guests, days and ceremonies covered rather than the sum assured alone. If you want a more elaborate cover, the premium could be in the region of rupees 25,000 to 30,000 for a rupees 50 lakh cover. So, insurance will not come to your aid. Change your mind. Like all other insurance policies, wedding insurance too comes with a set of exclusions, expenses or losses that the policy will not reimburse. For instance, if the wedding is cancelled due to disputes between the bride, groom, or family members, the insurer will not make good the losses incurred on the cancellation. No show by the bride and groom due to change of mind shall not be paid for. Cancellations or delay of event due to death or close relatives may be covered. But as an add-on, on name basis and up to the specific age limits, In fact, marriage is one of the most auspicious events in the life that makes the beginning of a new phase. The ceremonial part of the wedding brings together friends and families to create the most pleasant experience. A marriage ceremony also means considerable expenditure on the personal front, depending on how you would like to plan the events leading to the nuptial day. On the flip side, one cannot rule out the uncertainties during this time, which has the potential to inflict huge losses on the parties involved. So, to protect yourself against monetary losses and to cover major risks that have the potential to disrupt the marriage event, it is important to have a cover that shields us from monetary losses in case of a disruption leading to cancellation or postponement of the event. So, natural and man-made perils have the potential to inflict damage to personal or public property. In marriage events where there are plenty of open risks, it makes sense to cover it by means of a wedding insurance policy, which offers to shield you against a plethora of open risks. As far as benefits of wedding insurance is concerned, the scope of cover includes cancellation of the wedding event due to natural and man-made perils, which include damage to property or injury, death. Offers cover on the public liability front where injury damage as a result of accident at the event venue during the policy period. Damage caused to property due to natural and man-made perils and includes the temporary setup, jewelry and others. The personal accident covers offers compensation for pre-declared individuals against disablement and death. The marriage insurance covers cancellation, postponement of the wedding event due to the following reasons. Marriage insurance covers the cancellation or postponement of the wedding event due to following reasons: earthquake, fire and other perils at the venue of the event, theft or burglary if the persons named under the policy does not appear for the wedding event due to death, personal injury, hospitalization and other reasons. Sum insured under the policy covers cost of cards printed, advance paid to the caterer, wedding hall, advance paid for decorations, hotel reservations, travel tickets and so on. Then the physical loss or damage to the property insured under the policy. The scope of coverages for earthquake and fire, theft or burglary, material damage conditions include decoration costs, jewelry and stone, appliances, precious materials and others as specified in the policy document. The personal accident cover provides the following benefits to the persons covered under the policy. Persons named in the policy, which includes blood relations, would be covered against accidental death. And then permanent total disability and the permanent partial disability is covered for persons whose name have been declared prior to availing the insurance. The public liability cover ensures protection against injury, death arising out of the accidents at the wedding venue. It also covers third-party property damage. So standard exclusions of wedding insurance includes cancellation of the marriage event due to band or civil unrest is not considered for compensation, act of terrorism. Persons covered under the policy are kidnapped. If the claim made is with regard to persons not reaching the venue on time due to unavailability of transport services, consequential losses due to cancellation of the wedding event, damage caused to the property by the insured member or his or her associates on the basis of directions issued by the member, death or injury caused to the persons include due to war-like situations, self-inflicted injury or suicide. With the recent floods in Chennai caused due to cyclone had brought life in the city to a complete standstill, stalling many important events which were scheduled possibly months in advance, thereby leading to huge losses besides causing inconvenience to many. They say marriages are made in heaven, and that may be true, but they are celebrated on earth. So now imagine the plight of the bride or groom and their families if their well-planned celebration had to be cancelled or rescheduled due to such vagaries of nature. So according to recent study by KPMG and Event and Entertainment Management Association, wedding industry in India with its allied sectors are estimated to be close to $50 billion industry. Around 3.2 million weddings are estimated for November and December alone. So there is a lot of riding on the big fat Indian wedding, and therefore providing adequate protection in the event of a possible cancellation becomes important. So wedding insurance is a type of a special event insurance policy that offers financial protection related to the cancellation of celebrations, such as future Vivah Suraksha policy. So under this policy, the company makes sure that the most memorable day in the life of the insured is absolutely perfect and stress-free in case of cancellation of wedding due to covered perils under the policy. Policy not only covers the cost of cancellation but also accidents during the wedding. The future Vivah Suraksha policy covers revocable expenses incurred by insured with respect to wedding ceremony cancellation or postponement. So few of the perils covered under the policy include unseasonal rains, storms, hailstorms, sandstorms, tsunami, tempest, and act of God perils. So this apart, loss or damage to the venue due to the fire and allied perils, earthquake, flood, cyclone, resulting in cancellation of the event, making the venue unusable. Riots, curfew, as declared by the local police and or concerned government authority, death or accident of bride, groom and blood relatives, parents, brothers, sisters of bride, groom, during the course of the policy, etc., are some of the other things covered under the policy. It also customizes the policy as per the requirement of the customer. So policy covers the recoverable expenses incurred by insured with respect to wedding ceremony, cancellation or postponement due to covered perils under the policy. Hence, the sum insured under this policy will be total expenses budgeted for the wedding ceremony. The premium depends on the coverage requested and sum insured. However, this policy is issued for the period of wedding only. Our pre-existing conditions known to the insured at the inception of cover, the cancellation of wedding due to disputes, if any, between the insured, bride, groom, family, relatives, friends, and any other persons related to the event or due to non-appearance of the insured bride, groom, or relatives, friends due to the legal government cases, litigation, summons, etc. are not covered under the policy. So this apart, the failure to carry on the event, commence and complete the event in the scheduled time due to the insured's inability to make the necessary arrangements, to take the required permissions due to financial incapacity, lack of funds, defaults, non-arriving of invited priests, guests, artists, etc. due to government warrants, duties, court verdicts, summons, government requirements, personal reasons for any other event, and cancellation of wedding due to financial disputes, inability to arrange finance, delay in arranging finance, etc. are not liable to be covered under the policy. So this is all about the wedding insurance. Thank you very much.